on, guys? Thanks for stopping by. So today I'm going to be doing a quick tutorial on how to make a template for your leather work. So I'm going to be doing a simple redesign of this. Um, I use it as a front pocket card wallet. So basically, you can use it, holding a couple cards when you're going out and going out at night, or just holding some business cards, or whatever you want. So anyways, how I'm going to do it is I'll show you guys how I do it in Adobe Illustrator, and then you can print that out and then tape it directly to your leather and then cut it out right out of the template. Or if you want, you can print it out off of your computer, trace it over to a nice thick piece of cardstock, and then use that cardstock to trace it onto your leather work and cut it out that way. I find printing it out off of your computer and then taping it to your leather work faster. It is a little bit of a waste, but it does make you pretty quick. I plan on here pretty soon investing in getting a clicker press and then using some clicker dies to make this process a whole lot faster. But for right now, this is how I do it. I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. Let's get going. I just wanted to tell you guys where I learned how to do this in Adobe Illustrator. I learned it from this guy, Daniel Scott. He's teaching this class on Adobe Illustrator Essentials Training. He's an Adobe certified trainer, and I'm just kind of shocked about how much there is to know and learn on Skillshare. I wish I would have hopped on here earlier. I'm sure that Adobe Illustrator wouldn't have been as intimidating as it was when I first tried it and steered away from Adobe Illustrator. My next class is going to be learning how to do Premiere Pro, which is going to be doing editing and making my videos that much better. So please, guys, go check it out. You won't be disappointed. It's crazy amount of stuff you can learn. So, all right, on to the video. I've got a mock-up of basically showing you guys what the design I'm going to go with, and I'm going to show you guys how I got to this point here now. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the toolbar on the left-hand side, and I'm going to click the, it should have the rectangle toolbox, or sorry, rectangle tool there. Now you should see a square. Just going to go ahead and grab that and click your rectangle tool. And I just like to click on the artboard, and it'll pull up this little rectangle box, and you can enter your width and height. So I got 2.75 by 3.75, hit OK, and it will populate this rectangle for you. Now, if you want to move your artboard up, you just hit your space bar, hold it, and it'll come up with this little hand, and you just grab your artboard with the left mouse button, and you can move your artboard wherever you want. All right, so now you can see that we have these radius tools, since we have our whole entire square highlighted. Also, one thing before we get too far, what I want to do is we're going to select our selection tool. So we've got this selected. We're going to come over here to our appearance where it says fill. We want to make this a no fill. All right, should have the red line through it. All right, so now that's done. The stroke we're going to leave the way it is now. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to our direct selection tool, which is the white arrow. We're going to highlight these bottom two anchors, which will highlight our bottom radius. Now we can adjust our radius to what we want by using the mouse here, and it'll control both sides. What I like to do is I like to come over here to the corner section under properties and hit 0.4 and hit 0.4, and that'll give us a nice radius for our corners. Okay, so now we got that done. Next thing I want to do is I want to draw a nice circle top here, and then I'll show you how I got this shape. Okay, so next we're going to do is we're going to go over to our toolbar on the left hand side. We're going to left click the rectangle tool and come down to ellipse tool, and we're going to draw ourselves a nice circle here. All right, let's see here, move it a little bit. Now I want to move it off off center just to show you guys how to make this center. So now we're going to come back up to our selection tool. We're going to highlight everything. Now on the right hand side here, you can see where it says align under properties, and you're going to click this horizontal align center, and it will center the circle to your rectangle that you've created. All right, so now that we've got it still highlighted, what I want to do is we're going to merge these. Basically, it's two circles. You have the bottom here that is split between the path for your rectangle, and then you have the path for your circle that you made. So we're going to come over to our toolbar. We're going to click Shape Builder, and then you'll notice that the arrow now has a plus symbol next to it. So now if you go into your if you go into your circle here, you'll see that you have like a little gridded area inside inside your circle. So you want to left click your mouse and you're going to drag through that line on your rectangle that is in the circle, and it will join those two sections. So now the next thing is we're going to go outside of our circle and we're going to hit Alt. Now you want to hold Alt, and that will change the positive to a negative symbol, and then we're going to left click and then drag into that, and that will delete the part of the circle that we do not want and leave a nice indentation on our rectangle of the shape that we would like for our template. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing we did for our radius down here in the bottom. We're going to go up here to our toolbar. We're going to hit Direct Selection Tool, but we're just going to highlight these two anchor points at the top. I want to get a nice smooth transition here, make it a little bit cleaner instead of having it kind of blocky there. All right, so now what I want to do is we're going to come back over here to the corners, and I'm going to type in 0.2. Enter. That will give us a nice clean radius up here. Okay, so now that we've got our layout, could be your front or your back. We're going to just call this our back. So what I want to do is let's just grab this text here. We'll throw some text in here and just call this back. And okay, now that that's done, let's go back over here to our selection tool. We're going to highlight everything and then grab it and move it over here to the left side. So now we've got our back done. Now what I want to do is I'm going to select our rectangle. We're going to select the path. Since it does have no fill, you're going to have to select the path. So if you go ahead and select the center, there's nothing there because we have unselected the fill. So we'll go select our path, and then I want to copy this path. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Control C and then Control V, and that will copy your path for you. Okay, so now we've got our path copied, and this is going to be the front side. So let's go ahead and throw some text on here, and we'll say front. All right, now we're going to go back over to our selection tool. We're going to reselect our path again one more time, and then we're going to go ahead and copy it one more time. So we're going to Control C, Control V, and then I'm going to bring this over to our second artboard that I have created here. All right, now if you don't have a second artboard up and you only have this first one, you can go up to Windows, go down to Artboards, and then you can create a second or third artboard here. All right, so now we've got our second artboard up. What I want to do now is we're going to come back over to our Direct Selection tool, and I want to highlight this top path. Nothing else but this top path. And just before those two vertical lines, we want to stop before that, and that'll highlight this path here and hit back or delete. And then we want to get this guy out of here as well. We'll highlight that and hit back or delete there. And that will delete this path here. So now basically we're going to create this as our stitch line. Okay. So what I want to do now is we're going to highlight our path, and over here we're going to hit before that, we know that, well, I know that I want my stitch line to be 1/8 inch down from the top and 1/8 inch from the side on both sides, and then an 1/8 inch off the bottom. So our width is 2.75. I'm going to make that 2.5, which is a 1/4 inch less, 1/8 inch less on both sides. And then we're going to do the same thing for the height. We'll make that the 3.5. Now we've got our height where we want it. We've got our width where we want it. And let's just grab it. Oh, okay. Now, so if you mess up like this, and this is using the direct selection tool, you can come over here and hit edit and hit undo move. All right. So that'll undo, and you can go back as many times as you need. So now we're going to grab our selection tool, which is the black arrow, and we're going to grab our path here, and we're going to just kind of toss it in here and just see how it looks. Bam. Okay, so there's going to be our stitch line. So what I want to do is we're going to re-grab this guy. We're going to come back over here, and then we're going to come back over here to the appearance section under properties, and we're going to tap stroke. Now I want to make this stroke, the weight of it, a little bit bigger. So we're going to go to 2 points just to where it's nice and dark here, so you can see our stitch line. Now we'll come back into stroke. The cap is right underneath weight, where it's at butt cap right now, and we're going to make that a round cap. All right, now the next step is we're going to make this a dashed line. Okay, we're going to click dash line. We'll make sure that this right triangle where the it says aligns dashes to corners and paths end. This will make sure that both tops are equal with each other and everything is spaced correctly. So, but the thing is, we don't want dashes. So we're going to come over here. We're going to turn the dashes to a 0, and then we're going to make the gap is going to be 15.1. Okay, so this is the measurement that I have found that works for me. I'm using a 3mm diamond punch it's a craft tool diamond punch for doing hand sewing. You can use this, and it also is set up. You can set up whatever size you're doing if you're going to be doing it off of machine sewing, or if you have a different size diamond punch, you can size it to that. And then, so now we got our sizing that we want for our stitch line. So now we're going to grab our path again. We're going to highlight it, grab it, and we can toss it back into our, on the front side of our front template. And that's basically it. You've got your back now, you got your front, and you got your stitch line created. So the cool thing is now you can just print this guy out. You can tape it to a piece of leather and cut it out directly. Or take this template and trace it out onto a nice thick piece of cardstock, and you'll have it, for the foreseeable future. Or you can even send this sketch to your, you have a die maker. If you want to get a die made, this would be perfect for them to replicate for you for using on a clicker press. You guys have a great day, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.